You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network. TESPN.
Welcome to this week's TESPN podcast. We've got a couple of our senior volleyball players, Sarah Brown and Dakota Baldwin, joining us today, along with my co-host, Hagan Andrew, also a fellow class of 2025 graduate or soon-to-be graduate. And speaking of soon-to-be graduates, your regular season is over for volleyball. You've got the LIS tournament next week. I'm sure these 4 years in the volleyball program have flown by. Y'all have had your ups and downs, but you both have been key starting players since 9th grade. So you've seen a lot. You played with a lot of different teammates. And as it winds down here with potentially just one game left in your high school careers, Sarah, I'll ask you first, and then Dakota, just to kind of reflect on these 4 years in the volleyball program.
Yeah, so 9th grade we started, and we came into it, like, our coach told us, like, you might not get a lot of playing time, it's your freshman year. But then once we actually, like, started the season, we did end up getting a lot of playing time, which was really exciting for all of us. And we learned a lot from the seniors, and then going into sophomore year, we had a really strong season. We improved a lot, I would say, and then junior year also was good. And then here we are, senior year. So, yeah.
Dakota, how about you? Just general reflection on the...
I think that each season's been fun, like, the different players, like, we've all kind of been, like, a group as a team, like, kind of like a family, and then especially freshman year, having, like, our core group of, like, the 4 freshmen on varsity. It was me, Sarah, Rose, and Campbell. Like, since we've all played together for so long, like, we just, like on the court, we just, like, get each other, like, you just, like, know without, like, saying anything.
Yeah, and it really, I remember that first home game so well, because the first TESPN broadcast we ever did was a volleyball game. I believe it was against St. Gertrude, I'm pretty sure. And then we did the whole game, and then I think it turned out like it never actually streamed, so it ended up being an accidental dress rehearsal. We had some tech issues on that one, as we still occasionally do, but that was before we had Tyree to fix all those things for us. But I say that because I teach 9th grade, but I didn't teach any of the 4 of you, so I was just like blown away that there's these 4 freshmen, and they're all either starting or playing a ton, and I didn't know any of you, so it was really neat to watch that. And then thinking about it now, I've taught both of you, and Dakota was your advisor, and like it's just been fun on the other side to watch all the seniors, but particularly those 4, you two and Campbell and Rose, who've been frontline players since day one. So not to make it about me, but it just was like it's been a fun to have kind of a front row seat to y'all's journey.
Yeah, so what are some goals that y'all set for yourselves at the beginning of the season that either you've accomplished or you're still looking to accomplish?
I would say for me, it was just always to work hard no matter what. Because, like, knowing that I've, like, been on the team since freshman year and, like, we're, like, the seniors, like, you think you have, like, guaranteed playing time or whatever. And I'm, like, I just always, for myself to think, like, my playing time isn't guaranteed. Like, if I play really bad, like, I can always just get taken out. So it's, like, to always have that mindset that it's, like, if, like, you mess up, just, like, forget about it and move on, because volleyball, it's, like, a mental game with mistakes. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, and then for me, one of my biggest goals was to, like, help encourage the younger teammates on our team, because, like, we're going to be leaving next year, and there's a lot of people who've never been on varsity and never had, like, any playing time. So I kind of wanted them to, like, be comfortable when they came on the court and, like, really encourage them to want to work hard so that next year they'll be wanting to be a leader, or, like, they'll be more comfortable in the situation. Like, I just wanted to encourage them.
And in terms of that leadership, I mean, as the season winds down here and you reflect on the senior year, do you feel like you've gotten a good, like, lesson in leadership that will serve you going forward beyond high school?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time I would go on the court and it would be, like, somebody who has never played. Like, I would be with, like, Katie and Mary, who have gotten a lot better this season, but they never played on the varsity court, and so, like, a serve would be coming, and I could tell they'd be a little scared, but, like, just looking over and, like, telling them that they got this, like, I believe in them, like, that helped me a lot, like, grow as a leader, because I know I can, like, tell when somebody's uncomfortable in a situation, and I can figure out how to help them, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, I'd agree, like, with the younger players, like, it's just like on varsity it's like a whole different game. Like the balls are getting hit much faster, and it's like I remember our first game we played Manson and Suffolk freshman year, and it was like we were just like wow. And then we had like Lily Jeanette like next to us and be like, oh my gosh, she's really good. Like I want to be like her, and I want to be able to like pass like she can. And it's like just setting a good example for the younger players of like the importance of like working hard. And I think that they're all like really determined as well to be like, this is my first year on varsity, like I want to work hard and get better. And like I think as a team we've improved over the season a lot.
So going into the LIS tournament, what are some hopes for y'all's team, and like what have y'all changed to like help y'all achieve these hopes?
I mean our hopes are definitely to win, but I think it's just to like when we get down in a game or like they get like a serve run on us and they score a bunch of points, it's to not get down on ourselves like mentally and be like, oh, like we're just gonna lose. Like to be determined to be like we can come back, like we can like score, like get all these points back. And I think that just in practice, like yesterday we practiced serving under pressure. So I think that's important because a lot of times it'll be like really close and we'll miss a serve, and that's like a key point. So I think just practicing like playing and performing under pressure is what will help us.
Yeah, I think just like working together as a team will really help us as we go into the LIS. Like I think we've really gotten used to each other and we're starting to move like more in sync, and that really helps in volleyball. Like that's really important. So I think since we're really starting to work together well, like that'll be a big factor going into LIS.
All right, so each season is approximately 15 to 20 matches. So as four-year players, you all have played probably close to 80 high school matches in a Trinity uniform. So I just want to take you back in your memory, and can you pick one or maybe a couple like matches you'll never forget, that when you're my age, many years out of high school, like there are still certain games from high school that I remember, usually really impactful wins or something about that game that maybe it was a comeback or beating a big rival, but just when you reflect on your career, what do you think one or two specific matches that you'll never forget might be?
I would say one would be sophomore year. We played against Stab in the LIS. That one was a really fun game, and we had a lot of people come out and support us, and it was really fun. And we ended up winning that. And another game I would say is last year when we played Virginia Episcopal School, we kind of had been on a losing streak, and we went down there and we played them. And not only did we win, but we had a great time together. Like we were all really excited, and so I'll always remember that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Stab game from sophomore year too, because it was like soccer had a game, so like everyone after that game came to our game, and it was a huge student section, and it was like fun, like having people cheer us on. And then also like after we won that game in the LAS, then we went to collegiate, and we also had like a bunch of people there, and it was fun. And even though we lost, it was just still fun to have like being a sophomore and having like seniors cheer for us and like know who we are was kind of cool. But yeah, that's what I remember.
What would you say the best skill you bring to the team is? It doesn't have to be a skill, just just something you bring to the team.
I don't know, I would just probably say like my encouragement, because I always feel like even though I get down on myself if I'm like making mistakes or whatever, I try not to show it to other players, because it's like it'll just bring the whole team down if like you just have like a bad attitude towards like what you're doing. But I always try like, say if I miss a hit, then I'll like encourage like Rose who set me and be like, that wasn't your fault, like I just hit the ball into the net. Or like if the other players, like the younger players, if they start to get down on themselves, just be like, it's okay, like you got the next point. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I would say energy a lot of the time. Like when we're down, and I try to make everyone laugh and just like bring energy. Like we play better when we're like playing goofy and loose. So like I think I bring that like goofy energy to the team.
No, I can see that. Like when I've been at matches, especially if you'll like win a really hard fought point where it's going back and forth, Sarah, you get so hyped, and the reason it stands out is because outside of the court, you're a pretty chill, even keel person, and when you get like it's fun to see that side of you come out for sure. This is sort of tack on to my last question about, I asked you to reflect on memorable games from your career, but you all have also played with some real talented players, some really great leaders, some really great just human beings that have been teammates of yours. When you think of those now graduates, the alums that you all played with as 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, can you name maybe one or two that really influence you, that you will, again, when you reflect on your career here, think, I'm just blessed that I got a chance to play with this person?
I would say first off Madeline Fox. She was a senior when I was a freshman, and like the first what's it called, open gym that I went to, she like came up to me and introduced herself, and she was just like very nice, and I was nervous, and she played the same position as me, and every time like we would switch out on the court, she was very encouraging, and like no matter what, I could trust her to like help me feel better and make me calm. And so yeah, I would say that first, and then second off Lily Jeanette, because she just inspired me to work really hard. She was a really good athlete, and no matter what, like she worked as hard as she could, and that inspired me to work hard because she worked through injuries, like she worked through everything, and that inspired me to work hard.
Yeah, and before Dakota goes, I just have to add about Lily, who was one of the kind of co-founders of TESPN and was our, I don't think we called it president, but she was like the leader of this group. And so, always thankful to her, but then also just on the volleyball court, she had all those shoulder problems and various injuries, and the way that she would throw herself to the ground to dig a ball out, it's just, she really left it all on the court. So I'm not surprised that she was someone that left an imprint on you. Dakota?
Mm-hmm. I'd also say Lily, just because like I was just like close with her, and I felt like we were kind of similar as like people, and I looked up to like how good she was, and then how like determined she was, and like our freshman year she didn't even play her position, and like she got LAS Player of the Year in 2 different positions, which I was like, wow, like if she can't hit, like she's gonna still be able to play. And then I'd also say August Gregory, who was a senior our sophomore year, just because she was just a solid player. Like she wouldn't, like if she got down on herself or whatever, you just couldn't tell. Like she was consistent and just like a really fun person overall. Like even though volleyball wasn't her main sport, she still was like so determined, and just like you could tell she just loved it so much.
Yeah, August, great leader, great kid, good athlete for sure. And then kind of on the flip side, as seniors now, who are some underclassmen that you think will really have a big impact going forward, who maybe, when you come back in a year or two to maybe come to a game, watch your former teammates as they go through, who are some folks that Titan Nation should keep an eye on that are not seniors?
I would say Peyton Davis. I think she's going to be really good next year. She's young now, so she sometimes gets in her head a little bit, but I think as she gets older, she's going to be really, really good. And who else? Katie Eds. I think she's going to be a really good passer. Like, now that she has the experience of the balls, like, coming at her really quick, like Caroline Lang, like, once she has that experience, I think she's going to be really, really good next year.
Yeah, I'd say both Katie and Mary, like, for defense, like, over the season, like, you could tell in, like, their first games they played, like, they were nervous, and, like, obviously, like, your first varsity game, but they've just improved so much over the season, and you can see it, how they're, like, they go out there and they're, like, confident, and their, like, serve receive has just gotten so much better and so much more consistent. And then I'd also say Mia, because she, like, starting out, I think she was, like, starting from the beginning of the season, but she's just, like, really, like, she's good at blocking and stuff, and she's getting better at, like, hitting and, like, knowing where to place the ball instead of just, like, swinging at it. And I think overall, like, the younger players, like, with having more varsity experience, like, they're just, like, volleyball IQ is kind of getting better. Like, they know, like, where to place the ball instead of just, like, hitting it hard.
Hagen, you got any more?
I do not.
All right, let's do a super quick lightning round to wrap it up. What is your dream place to live? If money wasn't an object, you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
New York.
Outer Banks.
Okay, what is your favorite pregame meal or snack?
Chipotle.
Chick-fil-A.
Who is your funniest teammate?
Jalen.
Sarah. Wait, never mind, Jalen.
It's definitely Jalen.
Who is your toughest opponent?
St. Catherine's.
St. Catherine's.
I don't know why
What
I
is
think-
your favorite class that you've taken in high school?
River?
I don't know, maybe like ceramics.
And all right, last one. If you had to go on a cross-country road trip with one of your teammates, just the two of you in a car for days to drive to California, who you picking?
Jalen.
I'd probably pick Sarah because we spent so much time together.
Yeah, I want Jalen and Dakota. Both of them. That would be so funny.
Hey, you know, after graduation, talk to your parents. Maybe we can make it happen.
But not
Um,
with Jalen driving.
Not Jalen driving. Jalen
You
can lie in the
wouldn't,
back.
wouldn't make it out of Richmond, huh?
No.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Sarah and Dakota. You guys have both given so much of yourselves and so much of your energies, blood, sweat, and tears to Trinity Volleyball, and just from all of Titan Nation, we thank you and hope y'all can make a little run here in the LIS tournament. But it's been a fun 4 years watching y'all play and represent your school and your team. So thanks so much for y'all to come in, and thanks everybody who watched. We'll see you next time.